Random House Audiobooks presents How Digital Is Your Business by Adrian Slywotzky and David Morrison, with Carl Weber.
How digital is your business? At various moments during the past 2 decades, companies and the individuals who lead them have become aware of digitization as a disruptive, creative force that is revolutionizing how people work, play, communicate, buy, sell, and live. The moment of recognition came at different times and was driven by specific phenomena: the advent of the personal computer, the proliferation of email, the growth of CAD/CAM, the popularity of the Internet. As a result, most people to this day either identify digital business with one or more of these phenomena or consider it simply the sum total of the high-tech innovations multiplying around us. That view is fatally incomplete. Digital business, especially the approach we advocate and explain in this audiobook called Digital Business Design, or DBD, is not about any of these phenomena. Nor is it about wiring everybody in the company, providing all your salespeople with laptops, converting your R&D and manufacturing facilities to CAD/CAM, selling your products through your website, or allowing employees to telecommute from their homes. Digital business design is the art of using digital technologies to expand your company's strategic options. DBD is not about technology for its own sake. It's about serving customers, creating unique value propositions, leveraging talent, improving productivity, and increasing profits. It's about using options to craft a business model that's not only superior, but unique. In terms of the benefits it offers customers, the rate of growth it sustains, its ability to nurture talent, and the financial results it attains, a digital business accomplishes the impossible. Or, let's say, it accomplishes what would have been considered impossible just a few years ago. Dell Computer and Compaq are in the same industry that produce similar products. Dell is a digital business and Compaq is not. What's the difference? Dell is unique in the following ways: the degree to which it knows its customers and gives them exactly what they want, the outstanding financial results it achieves in an industry that verges on unprofitability, and the unparalleled level of strategic control it has attained in its business. Like other PC companies, Compaq relies on retail outlets to sell its products. It estimates what demand will be, produces the number of machines it thinks customers will buy, and then tries to sell them to customers through its distributors. By contrast, Dell manufactures a PC only after receiving an order from a customer who has paid Dell in full. Thus, Dell uses the customer's money to finance production, while Compaq relies on traditional methods of financing to produce machines that it then ships into its distribution channels, hoping that the retailers will pay for them eventually. The same sort of guesswork is prevalent not only in industries that operate by the seat of the pants, but also in those that spend millions on state-of-the-art market research. The reliance on guesswork in industry after industry has unfortunate results. A visit to any car dealer in the fall offers an illustration. Rebates, sales, and financing schemes that are unprofitable for the producer, all in an effort to get rid of unsold inventory to make room for next year's models. The fallout from the way almost every company has been forced to operate is a litany of woes that include customers with little loyalty, asset intensity, high levels of risk, precarious levels of profitability, and little in the way of strategic control. What if there were a better way? What if you could reverse the way business is done? What if you knew exactly what your customers wanted and produced only those products? What if you could do away with the guesswork and waste of unsold inventory? What if you could enjoy order of magnitude, that is to say, tenfold increases in productivity, in profits, and in growth? What if you could become a digital business? Digital business design enables companies to finally achieve goals long considered unattainable. Businesses accept, at least in theory, the premise that it is a sin to waste the time and talents of our employees. Yet most companies commit this sin by making it necessary for people to spend far too much time doing the low-value work of information processing and reinventing the wheel by replicating solutions to problems that have already been solved. This sin is committed not only by industrial-age businesses like manufacturing firms, but by knowledge companies such as professional service and consulting firms and media companies. As we'll explain, DBD offers a way out. Another economic sin businesses recognize is asset intensity. Business people want to make the most of every dollar invested. Yet in the real world, the bigger a business grows, the more its capital is tied up in real estate, buildings, machinery, inventory, and support systems. Companies come to believe that this is the only way to provide timely service to customers. After all, they reason, without a warehouse full of products and a growing fleet of delivery trucks, they might get caught short next holiday season. But the result is shrinking rates of return and the dead weight of assets that make it almost impossible to adjust nimbly when the market makes the current business model obsolete. Digital business design can help solve this once intractable dilemma. Until recently, the probability that any organization would enjoy long-term success was determined by a single factor: the quality of its business design. Today, the multiplication of digital technologies has introduced a second crucial competitive factor: the degree of its relevant digitization. In today's economy, any organization can be mapped onto a matrix with 4 quadrants based on its level of digitization and the quality of its business design. 4 kinds of companies may be identified as a result: low digitization, bad business design in the southwest quadrant, high digitization, bad business design in the northwest quadrant, low digitization, great business design, the southeast quadrant, and high digitization, great business design, the northeast quadrant. Most businesses are in the southwest quadrant. They have a weak business design, a business design that is fundamentally flawed, or a business design that is obviously vulnerable to changes that are already happening. These companies have poor answers or no clear answers to the basic business design questions. What customers do I choose to serve? Why do they buy from me? Why do people work here? How do I make a profit? And so on. Northwest quadrant companies have high degrees of digitization but are still disadvantaged by a flawed or incomplete business design. Most internet-based companies are in the northwest quadrant. The southeast quadrant contains businesses with relatively low digitization and great business design, like a GE or a Swatch. In the profit zone, we dubbed these companies the reinventors. All have been phenomenally successful enterprises because of the brilliance with which their leadership teams have, first, crafted business designs that captured and controlled large growing segments of the value chain, then, as necessary, reinvented those designs to keep pace with changes in technology, social and economic conditions, population shifts, and competitive forces. However, the following truth has now become clear. Tomorrow's most spectacular business success stories will be found in the northeast quadrant. We'll use the 4-quadrant map as a guide throughout this audiobook, with the northeast quadrant as our reference area for the powerful combination of great business design and smart digitization that we call digital business design, or DBD. In the course of this audiobook, we'll look closely at 4 pioneering companies that have already migrated into the northeast quadrant: Dell Computer, Cemex, Charles Schwab, and Cisco Systems. We'll examine how these companies have used digital business design to acquire commanding positions in their industries in terms of both growth and profitability, and we'll glance at other companies that have begun to emulate them. But before we examine these success stories, we ask you to step outside your skin for a moment and analyze your own business. Answer these questions. Where would you place your company in the 4-quadrant map? On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate your own company's business design? The answer will locate your company on the east-west axis of the map. On a scale from 0 to 100%, how digital are you? The answer will locate your company on the map's north-south axis. If you're not immediately certain...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?